Imagine a place where Mayan heritage is not only reflected in ancient ruins, but also alive in the lively streets and vibrant cities of today. A country where still active volcanoes and deep lakes coexist with lush, mysterious jungles. Where women, despite their short stature, carry the strength of a culture that spans generations. This is the setting of Guatemala, a country that is, quite literally, the heart of Central America. In this video, we're going to dive into the stunning landscapes of this country, while uncovering an interesting aspect of its population, the height of Guatemalan women. We'll explore what lies behind this trait, and how it shapes daily life and the local culture. You'll be surprised to see how, despite economic challenges, the country still shines with its natural and cultural beauty. And don't forget, the ending holds a fun fact that will leave you amazed. If you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming world explorations. Guatemala is a country full of contrasts, not just in its landscapes but also in its people. With around 18 million residents, it's the most populous country in Central America. But what really stands out is its cultural diversity. The nation is home to a unique mix of ethnicities, including indigenous people, mestizos, descendants of Europeans, and a significant Asian community, mostly of Chinese origin. Indigenous people, especially those of Mayan descent, make up nearly half of the population. They're divided into different groups, each with its own language and customs, keeping an important part of the country's history alive. Besides Spanish, which is the official language, over 20 Mayan languages are spoken by these communities, showing the strong preservation of their culture despite centuries of external influences and modernization. The capital, Guatemala City, is the heart of this cultural melting pot. It's a place where the traditional meets the modern, skyscrapers standing next to colorful and lively markets. In addition to being the political and economic center of the country, it's a city where you can experience Guatemala's cultural diversity in every way, from traditional clothing to the flavors of its cuisine and the festivals that light up the streets. The capital perfectly reflects the soul of Guatemala, a land rich in culture and history. Guatemala is a country of stunning geographical contrasts, ranging from majestic mountain ranges to active volcanoes that dominate the landscape. Its mountains, some soaring over 4,200 meters, and the mangroves stretching along the Pacific coast, showcase the diversity that influences not only the culture, but also the everyday life of the Guatemalan people. Among the country's 37 volcanoes, 3 are constantly active: Pacaya, Fuego, and Santiago. These volcanoes aren't just dramatic features of the landscape. They also play a significant role in local traditions and beliefs. In towns and villages nearby, it's common to find ceremonies where locals make offerings to the mountains, seeking protection and abundant harvests. Another highlight of Guatemala is Lake Atitlan, often considered one of the most beautiful lakes in the world. Surrounded by mountains and volcanoes, it's not only a natural wonder, but also a central point for the indigenous communities that live around it. Along its shores, women dressed in traditional clothing offer visitors a variety of handmade crafts and local foods, keeping their cultural traditions alive while also using the tourist traffic to support the local economy. Guatemala, with its breathtaking landscape, hides harsh realities for most of its population. Around 60% of Guatemalans live in poverty, and unemployment is a constant concern. The struggles are even more severe in rural areas, especially for indigenous communities, who face challenges in accessing essential services like healthcare and education. Illiteracy is a serious issue in the country, affecting nearly a third of the population. Despite efforts to improve education, inequality remains, particularly in the more remote regions, reinforcing a cycle of poverty that affects many generations. However, the strength and determination of the Guatemalan people, especially the women, are remarkable. Many women have come together in cooperatives, where they use traditional techniques to create handmade crafts sold both locally and internationally. These initiatives have been crucial in promoting not only the financial independence of these women, but also in preserving the cultural traditions of their ancestors, showcasing their resilience in the face of adversity. Agriculture is the backbone of Guatemala's economy. playing a major role in driving the country's financial activity. Key export products include coffee, sugar, bananas, and corn. However, this heavy reliance on the agricultural sector puts Guatemala in a vulnerable position when it comes to fluctuations in the global market and the impacts of climate change. Coffee, in particular, plays a significant role. Known worldwide for its quality, it's grown in the mountainous regions of the country. Every cup of this premium coffee carries a story of hard work, especially from small rural farmers. Many of these farmers, including a large number of women, spend long hours under the sun tending to the crops that are the main source of income for their families. Beyond coffee, corn holds a value that goes beyond economics. It's a cultural and spiritual symbol in Guatemala. According to Mayan mythology, humans were created from corn, which reflects the deep importance of this crop in everyday life and local traditions. Tortillas and tamales, both made from corn, are staples in Guatemalan family meals, reinforcing its essential role in the country's culture. Guatemala is a true treasure of breathtaking natural landscapes, perfect for those seeking a connection with nature and adventure. This country offers an impressive variety of scenery, from majestic mountains to lush tropical forests and crystal-clear lakes. One of the most fascinating spots is cc.curionation, a series of natural turquoise pools formed over a limestone bridge. This remote and hard-to-reach destination holds an almost untouched beauty, making it one of Guatemala's best-kept secrets. Additionally, Tikal National Park is a historical and archaeological gem, home to some of the most iconic ruins of the Mayan civilization. As visitors walk through the ancient cities, they're surrounded by the sounds of the forest that envelops the grand temples. These towering monuments not only showcase the architectural skill of the Maya, but also reveal aspects of ancient life, where women, despite their small stature, played an important role in society. Guatemalan women stand out for their short stature, something that sparks curiosity in many people. With an average height of 4'11" inches, 1.49 meters, they are among the shortest in the world. This phenomenon can be explained by a combination of genetic factors and living conditions. For several generations, malnutrition, especially in rural areas, has affected the physical development of many Guatemalans. The lack of nutritious food during childhood and adolescence has been one of the main reasons for limited growth. Additionally, the genes of Guatemala's indigenous peoples, who tend to be naturally shorter, also play a role in this characteristic. However, despite their height, Guatemalan women are incredibly strong and resilient. It's common to see them skillfully carrying heavy loads, whether in domestic tasks or at work, like in the markets. Their strength, both physical and mental, is a defining trait. And their height, far from being an obstacle, doesn't stop them from playing key roles in their families and communities. In many Mayan villages, it's common to see women wearing their traditional clothing called trajes, which vary depending on their region of origin. These vibrant and detailed outfits represent much more than just clothing. They carry the cultural identity and pride of each people. Every community and ethnic group has unique patterns and designs that act as a signature of their history and traditions. The process of creating these clothes is done with great dedication and skill, using weaving techniques passed down through generations. Guatemalan women are true artists, producing fabrics admired worldwide for their beauty and quality. Beyond the aesthetics, the colors and patterns on the garments hold deep meanings. They can indicate which community the person belongs to, their social status, or even significant milestones in their life. Wearing these traditional clothes is a way of preserving cultural heritage and honoring their ancestors. In rural areas, these trajes remain part of daily life, even though their use has decreased in larger cities. Guatemala is a country where the past and present meet in a rich blend of traditions. The heritage of the ancient Mayan civilization is still visible in everyday life, especially among the indigenous peoples, while modern influences have also blended into these traditions. One of the most remarkable moments on the cultural calendar is Semana Santa, Holy Week, a religious celebration full of color and rituals, with impressive processions and intricate sawdust carpets that fill the streets with art and devotion. This celebration is a clear example of how Christian and indigenous roots intertwine, resulting in an experience that reflects the country's cultural diversity and richness. Another standout event is the Rabban Ajah Festival, which takes place in Coban, where young women from different indigenous communities compete for the title of Queen of the Mayan people. This ceremony symbolizes the pride and preservation of Mayan culture, which remains a vital part of Guatemala's identity. In Guatemala, religion is a central part of daily life. While Catholicism is still the dominant faith, Protestantism has been gaining a lot of ground, with around 30% of the population identifying as Protestant, a number that continues to grow every year. Additionally, many indigenous communities preserve their ancient spiritual traditions, which blend in a unique way with Christian beliefs. In these groups, rituals and ceremonies are often focused on honoring both ancestors and the forces of nature. For these communities, religion goes beyond spirituality. It's a way to maintain harmony and connection with the natural environment around them. Guatemala carries an impressive legacy that dates back to the Mayan civilization, one of the most advanced of ancient times. Even though centuries have passed since its peak, the influence of the Maya is still evident in many aspects of the country's life and culture. They not only developed extraordinary knowledge in astronomy, but also created a complex calendar that continues to impress scholars. One of the Mayans' greatest innovations was their water filtration system, considered the oldest in the Western Hemisphere. Using zeolite, a mineral that aids in purification, the Maya developed an efficient and surprisingly modern water cleaning technique, with principles that still inspire scientists today. This, among other inventions, makes the Mayan civilization a subject of fascination and study in the scientific and archaeological worlds. Guatemala is undoubtedly a country of striking contrasts. The diversity of its landscapes, along with the rich culture of its people, makes the country a unique place. Guatemalan women, despite their short stature, are known for their strength and determination, representing the resilient spirit of their land. What about you? What stands out most to you about Guatemala's history and culture? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more discoveries about the wonders of the world.